Yeah, he's a dangerous player, disruptive, consistently disruptive. And so I think every play that we put in the game plan, we think about, who's got to block him or how we're affecting him. And so he's definitely a problem that, consumes a lot of our energy during the week. Yeah, I think, we were just saying it's always, you get a lot more comfortable week 5 when you've got like 4 games, current season, current cast of characters. So we got a ton of film to watch, but every staff in the off season is, self-scouting, doing research, making tweaks. Obviously, just like we have extra time, they have extra time to prepare for this game. So, the unknown unknowns are always something that keeps you up at night. And, in between series, we'll be heavy into those pictures and seeing, what's changed, what's different, what are they doing maybe that's giving us problems that we'll have to adjust to. So,
how do you manage patience knowing that week 5 it should be better, but right now you want it to be as good as possible?
It's the status quo. You go through it every year. It's a little bit easier when you're having a game against an established staff like the Raiders are. So you feel like, man, we know a lot of what we're going to see, but you do know there's going to be some tweaks. Some of those years where it's a new coordinator from college or new staff that's put together and you're not really quite sure which film even to look at, that's when it gets very, very stressful.
Jerry Jeudy looks pretty good. Whether or not he plays or not, are you surprised by, based on when he was taken?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you first saw it happen, we all certainly had a sinking feeling. And then when we got the initial reports, it maybe didn't sound as bad as maybe we thought it was going to be. So didn't know, still don't know, when he's going to be back. But I think certainly sooner rather than later compared to maybe what we thought when we first saw the injury.
With your 2 tackles, Bowles and McGlinchey, they didn't play in a preseason together because Mike was hurt. Can you microwave it or use it as scheme to kind of help them as you're trying to build chemistry with a new offensive line?
You're talking about Mike specifically?
Mike and Garrett, like the 2 tackle powers, like integrating kind of a lot of new faces, but Mike didn't play in the preseason.
No, he didn't. But, look, he got healthy and he's been practicing a lot. And so I think he and, Quinn are working well together. So, I think you're always a little more comfortable when they've gotten some real live reps, but I think we feel pretty good about where he is. But I think a lot of that happens during practice and manufacturing the looks where they have to make the different combination blocks and different calls so that they can get that work together for sure.
What kind of advantage is it, if any, that you saw the Raiders, most of their personnel, certainly Max Crosby, twice last year, and Max obviously for, a couple of years?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think you have to play against him to know how good he is. You can see it on film. But you have spent a lot of time over the last the last year since that was their first year as coordinator. You spent a lot of time looking at him. And so, there is some familiarity there, which kind of helps you get a head start for sure.
Where have you seen Marvin take the biggest jump over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think, the jump is that he's healthy. He missed a few weeks. And I think since he's been back, he's impressed me with the consistency of his effort. He's a fast guy, and it seems like he's always fast. Some fast guys, they burn out. You don't feel like they're running. They're able to maintain that speed play after play. But, he's been very consistent and has been impressive with his speed.
When you're kind of working on installing an overall offensive scheme, how much of that continues into the regular season where concepts continue to be introduced throughout the year?
Quite a bit. I mean, I think, we've got a lot of time to practice, so we install a lot of offense. And so a lot of it gets repeated, maybe not in the same formations or personnel group that we were repping in training camp. You start tailoring, the personnel groups based on the matchups and the defense you're seeing. Formations will change a little bit. And then as you go through the season, as you are running plays, you don't want to give the same exact look that you gave, in games previous. So you're always tweaking that. And you'll have a handful of maybe, new concepts or concepts that are, just derivatives of things they've done in training camp. But for the most part, you want to, especially in early games, you want to run plays that these guys are familiar with and that they know by heart.
Coach, with Sean calling the plays, can you take us through your role when the offense is on the field?
Yeah, I think, we're just in communication. I give him down and distance and hash. And, if he's got a question like what coverage was that, all of us up in the box are there to talk to him about that. And then in between drives, sometimes he's like, hey, what do you like? And talks to the O-line coach about runs. And so it's just, him getting suggestions at times and talking about what we're seeing. So nothing too elaborate or complicated. Just, hey, here's what's happening. Here's the plays we like. And, maybe here's some looks that have given us problems. How are we going to adjust to them?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.